Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Silver Tears Tarot. We're doing just kind of an extra bonus soulmate snapshot today because it's kind of associated with the midnight edition one I did a couple of days ago. So there's it's or overnight the other night. So I got a bunch of notes back from you. Some of them were comments on social media. Some of them were direct notes coming back and saying, yes, my person did reach out. Yes, there has been an extra strong urge. I felt some sort of shift. All kinds of interesting things have kind of been popping in and out of the energy. And a lot of the same sorts of shifting feels like it's continuing to happen, but some of the same people are coming back and telling me now that there have been some pretty intense dreams. A couple of them said, I know I'm dreaming about my person, and I can't remember the whole dream when I wake up, but it's like it was them, but they looked different, or there's a lot of really specific things that were happening in these dreams, but it was always something that leaves you a little bit not quite all the way there. It may have been maybe it was getting ready to be a good conversation or a good experience, but then it sort of tapers off or goes away or something happens. And there was just, I bring that up because it was such a theme. It was many of you coming in to say that. So we're going to do a quick soulmate snapshot and just kind of ask what's happening with these dreams. What else do you need to know? So it's going to be a general reading as always. And this one, so it's a general reading. This is for the collective. This collective, and I say this every time, this collective has a lot of really connected readings here. So if you find that this resonates with you and that maybe you are part of this collective, maybe check out some of the other messages. Particularly, like we're right in the middle of updating the energy for the month. So I did the general energy for the month today, and tomorrow I'm going to do soulmates. But I feel like there's kind of this undercurrent with a certain subset of this group. Maybe it's a subset, maybe it's more of you than I realize, but it just feels like we kind of also need to jump in on that and just kind of see what is going on. Things really seem to have ramped up here in the last couple days. So that's gonna be the question. What's happening with these dreams and just kind of what's going on? We're starting with the energetic backdrop, which, as we know, has been shifting from the day to day. We even took one earlier, but we're asking the energetic backdrop with regard to this shifting that we're seeing here. And it really just kind of, I mean, I guess we could get the exact same cards as we did, but I'm looking to see what concepts want to come out, especially in light of the question that we're going to be asking around the dreams and the shifting energy. I've had a couple cards look like they were, there it is. 7 of Wands, so lack of confidence, fear. In the reverse, this is a lack of confidence. In the upright, it's being able to meet things head on. It's being able to, feeling very much like you're going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Here in the reverse, it's a little bit more of that lack of confidence. So there's a feeling of slipping, something slipping through someone's fingers. That showed up in a personal reading earlier. One of the, not earlier today, but just another one that I did in the last couple of days. There's been a lot of concepts of people being aware of things but not really on a surface or intellectual level, maybe not being able to form it into words exactly, or maybe not confront it all the way. And it's protection really from this lack of confidence. So this is an unstable energy. With the 6 of Pentacles, it's this reminds me a little bit of the 4 of Pentacles in the upright. So the 6 of Pentacles is a give and take energy, but this is about that not being able to establish a good balance, but because you're of a preoccupied sort of thing. So it impacts the ability to pair up, the ability to partner, as well as that ability to make somebody feel heard. And it's like, how when there's too many things going on, you can only pay attention to so much at once. This is the kind of feeling that wants to come out with this. It's got this feeling like they aren't able to pay attention enough to be able to execute on what is required here. And it comes from that lack of, so this is their energy. It comes from that lack of confidence. It's like they've given themselves a vote of no confidence, and then they get to the end of a conversation, whether it's with you or someone else, and then they go, oh, that didn't go well, and they realize that they didn't really, and they couldn't really think as they were having the conversation because they were so distracted by something else. And that's really, this sums it up nicely. I think we've got I should always look down before I just start talking, because oftentimes the cards that I'm talking about are sitting on the table. So the King of Swords really kind of embodies what I was saying there. This is not having that ability to back up and really kind of, it's not like it takes a long time to back up and reframe and think things through, but sometimes it's very brief, but they're not taking the time to do it. This Ten of Swords is not part of this. Interesting. So they've got a discombobulated, edgy sort of energy about them, and that is part of what you're picking up on. We'll see how that fits in with the dreams and the super intense, even, just extra thoughts during the daytime, intrusive thoughts. So we've got the Page of Wands here. There is a sense of a sadness, a sense of sadness and not being able to reach something. Not being able to reach something and feeling like that's going to be a problem. We've got the Nine of Swords. This is the thinking that it's going to be a problem. So between this sadness and this Nine of Swords, you get anxiety and depression kind of type symptoms coming out. I'm not saying that your person has anxiety or depression or that you do, but it's those types of symptoms. You can exhibit those symptoms without being diagnosed with them or even needing to be. So we had a card fall, and it is one that wants to be part of the reading. It's a Page of Swords. There's a glimmer here. So when you've been hearing from this person, that's this energy of the Page of Swords. It's a glimmer of hope, wants to be heard and understood, and is willing to go out on a limb in order to make it happen. But it's a really fleeting energy. It just kind of blinks in and out. That's what I'm noticing about that. And here we have the Queen of Cups. Well, it's love that's driving it, and it's love that's driving all of this. So it's awkward. It's going to feel like there's a lot more going on here than just love. But really, I mean, there's just love is kind of a strange way to say it when you back up and take a look at what love really feels like in this situation. It's very all-encompassing. So it's a little overwhelming for them. And that's really kind of what we're seeing here in this energy up here. So it seemed like for a while they were getting better at navigating being close to you energetically, but it seems like at this point they're starting to bumble it a little bit, or maybe they've gotten to a place where they're feeling off kilter. But definitely we see them feeling lack of confidence, lack of stability even, and so confused and disjointed that they get to the end of a conversation and really have to kind of reconstruct it for themselves. They are not able to keep up with it. And it has nothing to do with the level of intelligence by any stretch. This is an emotional state, an energetic state. So let's look at these dreams, because this shaking up sort of energy helps to describe some of what's been happening for you in these dreams. But let's see what else you need to know about it. The question really is, what's with the dreams? We've got Page of Cups. Well, there's communication that in some cases has been coming through. We had a big rash of communication back in the end of April, and we just had another one here in the last couple of days. But it's like there's communication, but there's interference. Like when you're turning between, if you've ever turned between radio stations and noticed that you can hear it kind of another one coming in at the same time. Sometimes it's kind of got that. Interesting. Another station coming in at the same time. Okay, so we have the Empress. This is about balancing feminine energy, but I do not get the sense that your person's energy, your person's feminine energy is balancing under this energy. I also do not necessarily get the sense that your energy is balancing as a result of them. Whatever's happening, there's something else coming in. I guess we'll see what's happening in the second half of this month tomorrow, but it feels like there's something different from your soulmate that's kind of, like I was saying, creating that interference, like you're shifting it on the radio dial. Six of Swords. So you're going to be picking up on your person's interference as well because they're feeling so disjointed, discombobulated, out of balance. That's part of what you're picking up on and part of what's causing these dreams because it's you trying to do some reconciliation. And just as I say that, we've got the reconciliation. Well, it's not really a reconciliation card, except that it has been for us lately. It's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And it's reconciliation, but it's saying, wait, what have I done so far? What have I done? What have I provided? When they see the Six of Pentacles in the reverse over here, that energy of not having equal give and take, there's a recognition of needing to reconcile the fact that there has not been a proper investment or a sufficient investment for the nature of the relationship here. And then we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man in reverse, though, says that even though they're having this realization, it's like they're kind of stuck out there not knowing what to do with it. So for those of you who have gotten the personal readings lately, and yes, my Etsy site is back open for the time being, and you guys are definitely availing yourselves of it. So when the inventory is out, then it means if I'm not restocking the inventory, it means that I don't have time to do more readings. And so I'm going to keep the shop open as much as I can. And sometimes I just can't, but this right now it is. One of the things that is coming up in the personal readings right now is this concept of, and it's come up in several, like this image of somebody standing on an island in the middle of a shifting lava flow. So you cannot simply walk in there, wade in, and swim to another place. In some cases, it's realizing I control this space and everything else is out of my control, but I'm just going to sit here and control this space. And in some cases, it's actually trying to get from one island maybe to another and feeling like there's just no way they can get to it. Either way, there's something about this that is not sustainable, but they haven't figured out a next step. That's really what it comes down to. However, it's going to manifest pretty differently. I got the lava again, and I was like, oh, interesting. That's something that's come up in a couple of personal readings. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles in reverse is telling us that there's a lesson still not learned, but it feels like this is your energy. It's a lesson that hasn't been learned, but it's like you're going to feel like you have already covered this, and when you get in a little deeper, you're going to find out there was a nugget in there that still needs to be kind of understood. It puts you into a situation where you have a crossroads, and basically you have a decision to make, but it's not obvious which way you're going to want to go. Lots of options here. So when we see the Two of Swords, even though it's a crossroads, it's not always just two directions that you can go. There are multiple directions, and like the Seven of Cups shows us here, the Seven of Cups is all about having options, but not always necessarily understanding what to do with them. So there can be a fair amount of confusion in there, and we definitely are seeing that with this. So that's another reason why the dreams are as confusing as they are, and there's this sense of hiding, there's this sense of not being able to, there it is, not being able to do what it feels like you should be able to do. This is the Magician in reverse. So your person's got an outrageous amount of fear, and you are getting, like, part of this is your energy, but it's because of this interference. We already know there's another energy coming in, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised about that. I'm interested to see if maybe it comes in here in July, given the fact that the interference is starting to feel kind of strong. Let's see if there's anything else here. So it seems like the dreams are really a result of this discombobulation energy, but also with your person kind of coming to terms with a couple of things and having enough information to understand that they've not invested enough, but not enough information to know what to do next. And so it puts them in a situation where they have to make a decision, have no idea what to do. But you're also in a situation of having to make a decision and not quite knowing what to do. And that, I think, is part of that's what bridges you to having these. I wouldn't be surprised if these dreams are to some degree shared. Not necessarily like they're having the same dream at the same time as you. I suppose they could be, but more a matter of it's not surprising that they might be having something similar. There is an incredible amount of desire going back and forth here, an incredible amount of magnetism, and these dreams. This is an acknowledgement of the fact that the dreams are really just kind of pumping that up. Um, let's see here. We had a single card fall, so I thought that one might want to be used in the reading. It did not. But it does feel like there's another one that still wants to come out. Oh, we got a couple. All right, so we've got the Eight of Wands. There's another element, this element of feeling like you can't move forward, feeling like you have to. That has shown up in some of your comments and in some of your thoughts and some of the thoughts that you've sent to me, but this is also happening for your person. It's that feeling of the energy that's building up, and we've seen that, but it's that energy of that building up and having no place for the energy to go. So there is like a ramp up in the watching energy. This is peekaboo energy. This is so if you've been feeling like if you're connected somehow on social media, and not completely blocked, and you've been feeling like you have more of a desire than usual to observe them, they are feeling that as well. There is a very open door between the two of you from an energetic standpoint. That's what's creating all the intense, super intense dreams, and it's very much associated with the energy of what we were seeing the other night, where the energy was shifting and it felt like there was going to be some people reaching out, which, as we saw, did of course happen. Let's see what's the advice for you. So that's what I usually like to ask over here, but what is that advice for you going to look like in light of what we've got here on the table? We've got the Two of Swords. Oh, that's okay. So in this, these dreams are highlighting for you a difficult decision that has to be made on your part. Now, there are multiple decisions that a lot of you are looking at. You know, it's, do I stay in this situation or do I walk away? How do I want to stay in this situation if I choose to stay? How do I choose to walk away? Is it kind of turning around and focusing elsewhere, or is it actually creating some sort of closure there, you know? And doing it where you just walk away and allow for things to continue is maybe more of a challenging way to go, but it is also leaving you more open to other possibilities. I'm not sure why that message wanted to come out, but it wants to come out with this card. Let's see what else you need to hear. Sometimes I pull the cards out and it's like, yes, it has something to do with the message that the card, like if you looked it up in the book, what it would say, but a lot of times there's other energy coming off of it that's like, ooh, I'm going to describe that too, even though it doesn't necessarily always seem like it would go with that card when it comes out. So we've got the Hierophant. This one's about spiritual guidance. That one will show up in a book. We've got spiritual guidance, and not so much a lack of it, but more a lack of being able to follow it or engage. It seems like there's spiritual guidance that's here for you, but you are not, it's not on the level for you. It needs to be somehow more sophisticated or more, it feels like it's not, the way that it's coming in, it doesn't feel very respectful, and you don't feel especially receptive of it. That's an interesting thing. I don't think we've seen that before. But there's this sense of things not slowing down. So we've seen with you this ability to kind of slow down time a little bit so that you have some time to at least reflect and figure out what's going on. We see definitely here there's this energy of that not happening from your person's perspective. Over here, I'm seeing something very similar with you. Not so much that things just won't slow down, but that you're in the thick of it. You're in the thick of something that isn't slowing down. But it means that it's also not yet time for you to really engage in some healing. You're going to have an opportunity to calm down, engage in some healing while things are a little bit quieter. But right now that's not happening. The good news is you are actually doing some healing in the background, under the surface. But there's still something out here for you that's going to help to connect more of your healing. It really does feel like what we talked about earlier, where if you are not necessarily, if you're on the fence about walking away, And you know, we'll definitely check into that some more. But if you're on the fence about walking away, then if you choose to take the opportunity where you face a different direction, leave the door open, don't observe it, and focus your energy elsewhere. This Ace of Wands is a reference to that thing that you can't see right now that will really be great and receptive of that energy and will give you some very seemingly perfectly built lessons. It's going to seem incredibly customized for you if you're able to engage this energy and this opportunity. And I know that some of you have started to engage it. I also know, you know, that in some cases you've tried to engage it and you've started, but the passion can't really be there because you're having a hard time redirecting the energy. You may need a couple of tries. You've got the Six of Cups here. This is about owning the memories. It's about owning the memories that you have with your person. And even though they do kind of have the function of distracting you sometimes, just knowing that they're also part of what's forming you and forming your ability to, when you come into contact with this person that we've already seen is coming, your soul is going to be a little bit more well-rounded because of this experience with your person. It helps to prepare you for this experience with this soulmate, but that experience with that soulmate also prepares you to come back and, you know, make some sense of this. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. And do we want? Nope, that's where they stop. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and what these are really talking about with the Ace of Pentacles, this is that open door. This is you are getting more or less advice if it feels right for you. Don't just do it. It's got to resonate. To potentially, if you're ready, that's why it may not yet resonate. Turn, close, or leave the door open, allow yourself to your person to walk through it, but don't sit and watch the door. Problem is, it can be very difficult to redirect your thinking, which is kind of what we were just talking about up here. That's where meditation comes in and the ability to kind of do thought stopping. It's not a simple thing to do. Thought stopping is it can be very enticing to continue thinking thoughts, even though they are not necessarily all about fighting the right battles. That's what this card really wants to say. It's like it came out to punctuate it. But it's about, the Five of Swords is about, it's a reminder to put your energy in the right direction and don't fight the wrong battles. Don't throw good energy after bad, no matter how enticing or natural it might feel. It may be natural more because you've built a habit to go in that direction than because it is the right direction for you to go. So this is interesting. This is at least telling us why the dreams. So there's a lot of kind of fiery intensity happening within them. Also, I haven't seen the Judgment card come out here, but it feels like they are experiencing some judgment. In some cases, it's really not working out very well for them. But in other cases, it's that they're not able to see their role in it yet. They're not able to see what they've done that has created the issues. And so that's part of what they need to grow through. But because your energies are so close together and they feel like things just kind of won't stop, there's this sense of maybe some really intense dreams happening there. But for you, yeah, it's all about allow yourself to, if you're ready to walk away, and we'll do a should I stay or should I go reading. I know I have to do that at some point, but like just totally dedicated to that. But it feels like if you have the ability, this is neither staying nor going. This is having that ability to just kind of redirect and refocus, because it is going to be really personal as to how far away you want to move, or how much closer you're willing to allow yourself to stay. So, yep, it's been a Soulmate Snapshot. I'm not going to extend this one. I just wanted to put this out there for you because we were seeing all of the dreams and I had a couple minutes. So this got a little longer even than I thought it might. I was just like, I'm going to toss a couple of cards out there and see what's happening with these dreams. But here we are. So tomorrow we will look into the rest of July and just kind of see what's headed your direction from a soulmate perspective. So I look forward to seeing you then.